the race everyone loves to hate. 2025 Monaco Grand Prix. Welcome to Overtake. Welcome to another episode of Overtake with us. Today, we have Paddock Mania. Alex, Angel, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're really excited for this opportunity that we have to share our knowledge with another channel that we love the content, so it's really exciting for us.
Yeah, excited to be here. Excited because we have the Monaco Grand Prix in a couple of days, and then we have the opportunity to talk to you and explain you what we think about this Grand Prix.
Yes, the Monaco Grand Prix. No track feels like the Monaco Grand Prix. Prestige, pressure, perfection. Is it still the race that every driver wants to win?
I feel like it's one of those races that if you won it, you're in, like, not the Hall of Fame, but you are in that, 1 or 2% that only wins that Grand Prix.
Yeah, Monaco is a race where even if you're a mid driver, even if you're a bad driver, you win Monaco and you're going to be in the top. Like, everybody's going to acknowledge you. You're just going to be there.
It's like a crown jewel.
Yeah.
It might not be the most exciting race, but the drivers, especially these drivers that are there right now, grew up watching drivers that won it, and that's that's one of the races that if they can win that race and no other race, they're okay with their career.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we see that before with Checo Perez. He's not in the grid anymore, but he won the Monaco Grand Prix. So, it's something that is like to remember. It's like, it's part of what is called the Triple Crown. It's Indy 500, Monaco Grand Prix, and what is the last one?
I believe it's a 24 hours.
24-hour Le Mans. So it's one of those, races that they are special. They are unique. That is something that is part of what is racing.
Yeah, we even have an example Monaco, with Daniel Ricciardo. He's a nice driver, but we can say he was mid. But then he won the Monaco Grand Prix in 2018, and everybody remembers that race. Not only because he won it, but also because he did it with his car broken.
Daniel Ricciardo is mid. I agree with you. But there's a lot of fans out there that are going to come and be like, you don't know anything. The Aussie is the best ever.
He has something special. It's just, everyone can be a world champion.
Yeah.
We know that.
True.
I think that's this is a sport that only one can win, and it's not for everyone, You need to be tough. You need to be mentally prepared you're racing in these countries' tracks. These cars go 200 miles. It's just crazy, You need to be ready.
You are already competing against 19 more people out of thousands of drivers that you can find around the world.
Exactly.
So, and it's only one champion. Imagine.
And with Monaco, it's more special. It's like, it's one of those races.
As drivers say, they dream of winning Monaco. Well, mistakes are punished, no margin for like zero error. Let's be real though. If Monaco wasn't Monaco, would we even care about that track?
Like I always said, what makes Monaco is Monaco. It's just everything that's around this race. Because a lot of people say, I'm just going to wait for the Sunday. But in this race, this specific one, we're not waiting for Sunday. We're waiting for Saturday. Qualifying is the top priority for the drivers. Because, how we seen before, if you start first, you're probably going to win it. Well, we see cases like Leclerc, but the main goal is to be first, in the first row.
Yeah, being first gets you a big advantage. I mean, as long as you get pole, you have like 75% of the race done. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's totally right. I mean, I could have looked up the odds or, the stats on, how many people actually win Monaco, from pole. But let me ask you, like, a serious question. You win Monaco. Is your legacy sealed, even though the race year by year is becoming more mid?
I think it depends. It depends. Because as I mentioned, Daniel Ricciardo, he won it, and then he's just remembered and he's loved by everyone. And then we have like Checo Perez. He was a nice driver also. For me, he was better than what Daniel Ricciardo was.
Really?
Yes.
That's really controversial.
Ryan Perez is better than Ricciardo for me, 100%. Yet nobody remembers him. I mean, we do remember him for his last couple of years in Red Bull, where he was just underperforming. But he won Monaco in 2021 and nobody seems to care.
For me, it's the other side. For me, when he won Monaco, your name is in the top. For me, it's something that makes you special. It's like you're making your resume, and when you see that, you won the Monaco Grand Prix. For me, that's just different. It's not Silverstone, it's not Hungarian, it's not Austria, it's Monaco. It's one of those races like Fittipaldi said. He said, when you win Monaco, It's like you win 2 races. It's special. It's different for me. That's what.
Yeah, but I feel that, Monaco is a great race for Saturday, but the race itself, it's not all there. Yeah, you as a hardcore fan, you understand that these guys are going super fast, and it's very narrow. They can easily crash by one wrong turn, one, braking too hard. And that's what a lot of these other younger people that, more like a DRS, what is it? What's the show on Netflix? Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive, yes.
Pretty much what they do is they let Crafty say, lights out, here we go, fall asleep, and then wake up, X amount of laps later. But you mentioned Charles Leclerc. He finally won last year.
Yeah.
Do you think he can go back to back, or are Ferrari kind of like in the nowhere right now?
Well, Ferrari's is not the level right now, but Monaco is one of those races like Monza. That is just, they put everything just to win it. And I think Charles Leclerc knows every single inch of this track. For me, still a big chance that he can win it back to back. Last year it was a boring race. After the rain and everything, it was a boring race. But it's not always like that. When you race in Monaco, the biggest rival that you have is yourself. We've seen so many races. They're leading the race, and just for one mistake, you lose everything. You lose your race, you lose everything. So it's one of those races that you have to watch because you don't know what is going to happen. Rain can happen, a mistake can happen, and that can change everything.
Remember in 2020, we had like this boring race, and then the rain came in, everybody started crashing. We had Alonso with the strategy.
Don't remind me that moment.
Like 5 minutes, everything changed. So
yeah, we were screaming like crazy because we wanted to see Alonso win the 33rd win. We thought that could be the race, but they messed it up.
Didn't happen.
But let's step a little bit away from Monaco. Let's talk about the teams. Red Bull showed real progress last week. Does McLaren need to start prioritizing one driver over the other to keep both championships alive?
I don't think so. Because McLaren, if they prioritize one of them, they're just going to go through the same they did in 2007, back in 2007. Because they had Alonso and Hamilton, which are like two of the best ever. They were teammates, and they decided to go with Hamilton. And then they created this internal fight where they actually lost the championship just because of that. Because they were just fighting in between, and then you see Kimi Raikkonen coming slowly from the back, and then he just, boom, he stole the championship. And then if they keep doing the same, if they prioritize one of them, the same is going to happen with Max Verstappen. I have no doubt on that.
That's what I'm saying, because it seems like Max Verstappen with the half-decent car, he does magic.
He does.
Yeah.
Verstappen had the car. If Verstappen had the McLaren, it's over. Why even watch it?
Yes.
Okay, because he is the fastest driver and, in my opinion, the best driver on the grid. But at some point, I feel like you got to start prioritizing which championship you want. If you want the Constructors' Championship, you want the Drivers' Championship, or you want both. And right now, obviously, Oscar is ahead of Lando, but not by much. But still, that gap is a bigger difference to Verstappen. And if Red Bull start getting a ride, I don't think Yuki is going to be competing up there. To stop Verstappen from winning his another championship, you're going to have one strong driver. Or do you guys not agree with that? Or like one driver that you prioritize? Because both are strong drivers.
For me, I always said if I will have to choose one, I will choose Oscar. I think he is the driver that is stronger mentally. When you are a world champion, it's not that you don't have to acknowledge your mistakes. If you made a mistake, that could happen. But it's just Lando. Every single interview that you have after race, he's like, "Oh, it's just because I don't have the best car." Or the other thing is happening. And if you want to be a world champion, there is no excuse. Whatever you do in the track, you have to give it all. And with Verstappen, Max, he's not going to give you an inch. If you want to win Verstappen, you have to be at his level and you have to take the fight to him. Because if you are reacting of what Verstappen is doing, they are going to win every single race. Red Bull and Max, that combo, it's just explosive. They don't make any mistake. That's why they won the last for a championship, because they're a team that they don't care, and they give everything to Max to win the championship. And if you want to win against Max, you have to choose one driver. Maybe not in Monaco, but maybe the next race that will have to happen.
I feel like McLaren right now, they're playing just to win the constructors, and then you have Max who's playing to win his championship. So that's the main difference we see right now.
Yeah.
McLaren should prioritize both. I mean, they should sacrifice one of the drivers. For me, they just should keep going the way they are.
Yeah, it's just an image of being nice, but being nice is not going to win a
But
championship.
then you're creating an internal fight.
Yes, but at the same time, you wanna win. You wanna go back to the top. You already won the constructor, but the driver is not that easy. Max is there.
Yeah.
Max is in the middle.
Yeah, but I also feel that, any racer wants to be the champion. They want to win the constructors championship, but to any racer, I believe that comes secondary. And I do agree with you that Oscar Piastri seems like he's mentally more there and prepared. I remember not too long ago when they were saying that Lando Norris would be the only driver to compete against Max Verstappen in a Red Bull. And that didn't age well. We can see that Lando Norris is mentally not there, and he's making mistakes. Why? Because Oscar has stepped it up big time. I remember his first year when he was having issues with his race pace. Now he knows how to take care of his tires. He's a strong qualifier, and he's a very prolific racer.
Yes, 100%. I'm really impressed. Oscar is, I was so lucky to follow his career in F2. And he just kept impressing me. We were talking about even before he got to F1. And I was like, this is the next thing. And as right now, it's just, showing me that it is the big thing, is a big deal. For me, he looked a lot similar to Kimi Räikkönen. He's cold, he's vicious, and when he want to win, he will do it. You just have to give it the tools to win it. For me, he's the main threat for Max as right now. I don't see Lando competing by the end of the year.
I think Lando is the fastest out of the two, but then Piastri has the race pace, and then he has, the mentality that Lando doesn't have.
Yeah, I think Lando is fast.
Yeah,
He's fastest. Yeah, he's fastest.
Yeah, like something you said, Piastri, zero excuses. When Lando would say, "Oh, we don't have the fastest car," Piastri's like, "No, we have the fastest car." And that to me is big. But let's go back a little bit to Monaco, guys. Monaco isn't about like overtake unless it's like in the rain. It's about, execution with the pit stops, because there's two now. Timing, tire, tire choice, track precision, overall Saturday's quality. Let's talk about the mandatory 2 stops in Monaco. Will this change the overall race?
100%.
100%.
Yes, because we will have to see how they're going to manage that. Because maybe you want to do it early, the pit stop, but then at the end you have to do a new one. So manage that. It's going to be fun. So we probably will see a lot of different strategies. So that will bring a new layer to Monaco Grand Prix. So I think it's going to be excited. So you should watch the Sunday race. I think it's going to be really
give
exciting.
Give it a shot this year.
Yeah.
And then they have something extra. In Imola last week, they brought these new tires, the C6, which are like super soft. They're bringing the same tires. Yeah, they're bringing the same tires this week. So now you get to the point where they have like 2 or 3 different tires to choose from. Because you have the super soft, you have the soft, you have the medium, and you have the hard. You have like 4 types. So the medium, which is, let's say the soft, is in a way better than the super soft, but at the same it isn't. It's just weird. It depends on the car, for example.
Yeah. We need to wait for practice. But for what I see, probably, I don't think so we're going to see hard tires. I think it's going to be soft and medium, to be honest. They are the fastest. And if you have to make 2 stops, there's no degradation in Monaco, that big degradation. So I think it will be will be soft and medium, will be red and yellow.
So you guys are, saying a lot of facts there, especially with the tires. Let's go back a little bit to, the last race. Were you guys surprised with Aston Martin's strategy to put on the medium tires instead of the slicks? The red slicks?
I wasn't.
You weren't?
No, because the problem with those tires, they're so soft that they get a lot of pressure and a lot of energy inside. So when you have a track like Imola, which is a fast track, you have a lot of corners where you have to put a lot of speed in, they just die. So by the end of sector 2, those tires were dead completely. And then you have the mediums, which were the softs from last year, and those tires can actually handle a whole lap. And I think all teams knew that, actually.
It's interesting, but they didn't do that. And only Mercedes did it after they saw that Aston Martin was doing great sector times.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's put your executive hats on. You guys are no longer racing fans. Now you guys run the sport. You're Liberty Media, okay? If you're Liberty Media, and you understand that your fan base is getting younger and younger and younger. Thanks to like Netflix's Drive to Survive, thanks to like social media. Monaco, for the non-hardcore fans, is it something you replace? Remember, your objective is to make sure that people watch.
That kids are watching it also.
Away. They stay and watch. Do you replace Monaco?
I wouldn't.
If we are talking about entertainment, if you are not, if you're a Try to Survive kid, if you want to call it like that, it will be an obvious choice to change, because it's one of those races that for the hardcore fans is the race that you cannot replace. But for others, when they see this race, they say, what is this? Why there's no overtake spots? Everything is like so tight. Why are you going to watch a race that is going to be a parade? The driver parade is on Saturday.
I know.
No, on Sunday.
In Monaco, you get two of them, because you get one in Saturday and then one in Sunday.
So I will say that yes, I will replace it. There is a lot of other cities and countries that when I have a race, I will be more interested if I'm a newcomer to see maybe Germany, maybe other countries that maybe they always said that when I race in New York, why not another race in New York, It's something that will bring a lot of people.
I would just keep Monaco, because Monaco is not only like the race itself, but if you replace Monaco, you're taking away the classy part of F1, which we know is a classy sport, of course.
Right.
And then what I would do, I would make a 3-stop race, and then I will make them have all 3 tires, so red, yellow, and white. And also, you have to make the car smaller, the way they were way before.
Yeah, if we can change the regulation, I will bring the B10s and then small cars.
We can keep the engine, just make them, just shrink them.
But we're all on the same page that, it should be a little bit more entertaining.
100%.
We understand that Saturday qualifying is where it's at. Because if us 3 get in a Formula One car, we'll probably go like 10 feet and we crash.
Oh, no, 100%.
It's that hard. It's that hard. But in the entertainment aspect, I think it's something that, you can't make the roads bigger, because it is literally a country. So it's something where they, like you're saying, maybe three tires mandatory, little things like that to make it more entertaining so you can do an undercut, overcut, or whatever, it can make it more entertaining. But let's get into the odds, las apuestas. All right,
we're going to put our money.
Ay, hermano.
Exactly. So no surprise, 365 has Oscar Piastri at a plus 187, Lando Norris at plus 225, Max Verstappen at plus 333, Charles Leclerc at plus 600, he's in there, and George Russell at plus 1,600. If you hear those odds, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions.
Okay,
First,
go ahead.
Where do you put your money? Second, what are the odds telling you?
I always put my money in this season. I said it before in my other video in my channel. Max. Max is the man of this season. For me, that's where I'm going to put the money. When you see Max driving in the Monte Carlo streets, he's a beast. He's a beast, and I think he's going to win this one, to be honest.
I'm also going on Max, 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also knowing that this track, the car is very important, of course, but this is a driver's track. So you need good hands, and we know how Max is.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, Max is the best driver in the grid.
So why do you think the odds are favoring Piastri? Because at the beginning of the year, the odds were favoring Norris, and now it's heavily switched to Piastri. Why do you think the odds are favoring Piastri so much then?
I will say because he has the fastest car. It's not like Lando that keep claiming that it's not the fastest car. He's the fastest car in the grid. And Oscar, I think, is the only one that is being able to take this car to where it's supposed to be. Doesn't supposed to be 7th or 8th in qualifying. It's supposed to be in the first road or second road if you made a mistake. Last year we have Oscar Piastri finishing 2nd. So I think that's why it gives us the favorite odds to him.
I think it's based on form, actually.
You think so?
Yeah, because McLaren, they have the fastest car. Like, we all know that. But then if you look at the last couple of races, you see Lando, he's just messing around, he's crashing, he's not performing.
He's making small mistakes.
Mostly, for me, it's just form. Because once he gets his real form and he starts performing, he's going to be fastest all the way.
It's difficult to say that.
You're a very
you
big
saw it.
Lando believer.
Yeah, no.
No, and I don't like Lando, but it's the truth. Look at 2024. What happened the last part of the season when he was performing.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
was
so-
performing, but it was
But
missing.
now that Piastri's putting a lot of pressure on him, he's starting to make silly mistakes. And like you were saying, to beat Max, you have to literally take it from him. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't give him a window because what did we just see in the last race? Maybe one of the greatest overtakes that we've seen in a long time. You know, so why is all of a sudden Lando lacking that confidence, lacking that top raw speed? And Piastri is race after race proving that he's now the McLaren #1 driver.
I will say we're going to take this conversation, we're going to take it a little bit out of topic, and we're going to talk about the GOATs. You know, Michael Jordan. We're talking about Michael Jordan. We are talking about Tom Brady. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, even Max Verstappen. They all have one thing in common: mentality. You know, there is a lot of talking about, you know, the new sports. When you see these kids when they go into a sport, everything is, you know, mentally. If you're not mentally strong, they're gonna destroy you.
Yeah, you're out.
The competition in the modern days, they are not gonna wait for you. You need to be mentally strong. You need to be in the state of mind that you can be world champion. That's it. You need to be the Mamba mentality. You need to be ready to take the fight to Verstappen. Don't let him overtake you. Take it to the limit. And they take the fight to the limit. If you're a racing driver and you see a gap, you go for it.
If you have to crash Verstappen, you crash him. Remember what happened with Hamilton? It happened in 2021 with Hamilton. Because Verstappen, he basically says, it's either me or none, but you're not going through. If he's doing the same, just play the same game.
Yeah, we saw Schumacher using that strategy.
He won a championship by crashing into someone.
Yeah, Damon Hill. He took Damon Hill out of the race to win his first championship. So you need to take it to the limit. That's the definition.
It's an aggressive sport, and only the most mental tough, you know, always kind of climb up the mountain and win it. But let's get into some questions, guys. Are we ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
This is where people are gonna love you or they're gonna hate you. All right.
They might hate me.
Yeah,
Or
because
they're
you're a
gonna love you,
Lando
you know
lover.
that. Okay. Each of you guys, one driver you're betting that's gonna crash on qualifying.
I got the answer. Which team am I wearing? This is Alpine, right? Colapinto's crashing. I love the guy. He's crashing.
I agree with you.
I saw you talking trash about my boy. He's my boy. No, he's my boy, you know. Franco Colapinto's not gonna crash in qualifying. I'm putting my money in my other horse.
Now he's crashing in turn 10, right after the tunnel. By the pool, boom.
Colapinto's not crashing. The wall's crashing him, huh? That's what it is.
Wow, no. It's not like that. Okay, Franco Colapinto is a really skilled driver. We are not talking about Duhan. We are not talking about Latifi. Guys, it's Franco Colapinto. The GOAT.
You mean go Tiffy?
GOAT Tiffy.
Yeah. So who do you think is gonna crash?
Something that has been disappointing me because someone was hyping me up about this driver because I was not, you know, too much into this driver.
Which one?
Bortoleto. I think Bortoleto with that car is gonna be the first one to crash.
Okay, that's
for me.
That's interesting.
Out of the rookies, I think he's the one that has been disappointing me.
What about you? Who do you think is gonna crash?
I don't think Jack Duhan was doing that bad to get replaced, and we all understand why Franco is in there because the companies that back him up, they did a deal. So with the French team, so they put him in there. But if you see, like, he's a very aggressive driver that wants to prove that he belongs, and sometimes he overcooks it.
Yeah, he's Argentinian and he's in blood, you know?
And you know, the worst part, he doesn't need to prove that he deserves to be there. Like, it's okay. He already did it last season. And everybody knows he's quick.
Who do you guys think is going to win pole? Dun, 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 dun.
Max Verstappen.
This is my bet.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to throw a little bit here. I'm going to, you know, put a 3 from the downtown. I think Oscar Piastri is going to get pole.
That's more of a, like, a layup.
Yeah, you're right, yes. Yeah. It's just because I'm predicting that it's going to win Max Verstappen. Obvious choice, it will be Max again. But for me, I think it's going to be, you know what? No, I'm going to change everything.
He's going to say Lando now.
No. It's my favorite driver, Leclerc. I think Leclerc is going to win pole. I don't think so he's going to win, who's gonna get pole again.
And then Ferrari with the pit stop as always.
Something that I feel that even if Max doesn't get pole, because I'm between Max and Lando, Red Bull's strategy is kind of always on point.
Yes.
You know, and that's something that, and I believe that Red Bull and Mercedes kind of always have on point strategies, but Ferrari is like, you know.
Always messing up.
Yeah, who is the clown who is leading that team? Because they are a gang of clowns.
I think everybody's a clown inside.
I'm sorry, but I'm the guy that always says next year is going to be your year, and I'm already tired. I've been saying that since 2007.
Yep, 2008.
Yes, yeah. We started season 2008, but it's just year after year, they just keep messing it up. Or if it's not strategy, it's the car. If it's not the car, it's the engine. Always.
Ferrari is Arsenal in Formula One. It's the same thing.
Yes.
Ooh, they bottle it all the time.
All the time is the same. And you always end up saying, oh, next year is our year. Nothing happens. Nothing changes.
Ferrari is the Arsenal of Formula One.
Yes, yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's amazing.
You know what? That's going to be the title. You got it already.
Ferrari is the Arsenal of Formula One. Everybody that's British, they're going to understand that. All right, guys, let's come down to the most important, the winner of the Grand Prix. So who do you think, who's going to take the podium? Let's start with number 3. Let's go with 3. So each of us say our number 3, then our second, and then our first.
Okay.
Perfect. Let me start, I guess. Third place is going to go to, well, the Oscar is going to go to Lando Norris. I think Lando is going to be third.
P3. For me, it's going to be my boy, George Russell.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's an interesting one because George Russell is like a black horse, man. You literally never count on him, but then.
Yep. He's always there.
Yes. Yeah. He is behind the top 3 drivers, and he's waiting for them to drop, and then they just, get a podium or maybe get a win. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like last season.
Yeah.
For you?
And it's sad because right now that's the only thing Mercedes can do is trying to pick up some crumbs when somebody leaves them. To me, it's also Lando Norris. He is this, they do have the fastest car. Obviously, it's a different track, but there's only so much a driver can do. The rest has to be a car. It's like if we race, if I race in a Toyota, you race in a Ferrari, you're gonna run laps over me. So
if you have a Toyota Camry, you're actually winning. You're actually winning with that one.
Bad reference, guys. Yeah. All right. Who do you got number 2? Second place. Runner-up.
Oscar. He's going to keep leading the championship, but Verstappen is getting close and close. It's closing the gap.
Piastri for me.
We all went for Piastri. But before we pick the winner, and I think we're all going to the same winner.
Okay.
What kind of statement would it make if Oscar Piastri wins the Monaco Grand Prix?
Well, he will be contender for the best Australian driver just because he won this Monaco. But he's giving a statement. I'm here. I'm the one who is mentally strong, who have the tools to win this championship. That's it. End of the story. There is no more Lando. There is only Oscar Piastri, So at the position, let Oscar go through, It's Oscar. For me, this will be between this race, Monaco, and the next one. They have to define something. They have to define, maybe it's Oscar, maybe it's Lando, who knows what is going to happen. But for me, it have to be Oscar. They have to, you need to win this and say, I'm here, and I'm here to win a championship.
Okay, well, let me flip the question. What would this mean if Lando Norris wins?
I will say is the chance that Lando need to take the best races because you are as good as your last race. And if you win this one, it's giving the sign to, Zach Brown and saying, that you want to give up on me, but, I'm still here. I'm still in the fight. So for both, it's a tough race because qualifying is really important so you cannot make mistakes. But if Lando wins this one, it's another statement saying, I'm still here. I still have the talent. I'm the fastest driver of both. And I've been here for more years in McLaren, so you should benefit me.
I think if Lando wins, he's just proving my point that they cannot prioritize anyone.
That's facts. That's facts. But let's go to the winner. We all think Fernando Alonso, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
If that happens, I'm dyeing my hair.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean?
Like green. Green, the same color as the car. Green.
Wow. Okay, you hear it first. I hope it's Alonso. And it's not because I wanted you to tie your hair, but just to see Alonso one more win, to close his career,
I mean,
he can finally retire.
Yeah.
Remember, we have the script because we have Daniel Ricciardo 2016, he got pole, and then something happened, he lost. 2 years later, he won. Leclerc 2021, got pole, dominated, something happened, then he lost.
Crashed his formation lap, yeah.
Yep, and then 2024 he won. Also 2023, remember what happened, the strategy. Now 2 years after, let's see what happens.
Ooh, the curse of Monaco.
The curse of Monaco.
But, so we're all in agreement that we think Mr.
Verstappen
is going to win it. Max Verstappen.
Yes. Max.
Yeah, it's incredible what he can do with the half-decent car. The Red Bull that's been not at the performance that we've been used to in the last years. It is just crazy what he can do with that car. What the limits he takes it to, and the fact that he's not afraid to cross the limits and then push more.
Yes, when you hear the interviews talking about him, the things that they say about him is just he's that incredible. He's that guy. He's that guy to take any car to the top. Give it whatever you want to. Give it a go-kart, and he will win Monaco.
No, not like that. Not like...
I will still put my money on Max with a go-kart. He can overtake everyone,
True, that is true.
I mean,
I was just seeing an interview of one of his ex-engineer of Red Bull, and he said that when he first walked in and they start seeing what he can do in the car, they already knew that he was going to be special.
He's the special one.
Yeah, he's a special one.
And I feel like Max wants to win consecutive championships so he can retire. He doesn't want to be in the sport a lot. He cares a lot about his family. He wants to be like a dad, what his dad wasn't for him. So to me, that's like, it's a guy that when he's in a race car, he turns everything off and he's the beast. When he's out of a race car, he's a normal dude, a father, a guy that just wants to chill.
Yes, and that's what I like about him, because a lot of Drive to Survive and other media, they want to put him as the villain.
Yeah.
But when you start really getting to what Max Verstappen is, he's a father. He's been a father since he's been with Piquet.
Kelly.
Yeah, with Kelly. He's been a great dad. A lot of people say that he's a really good friend. And you normally don't see that side. Because when you talk about this driver like Lewis Hamilton, Alonso, they're just focused on driving. But Max is not focused 100% in driving. Well, he have distractions.
I mean, F1 is his job, not his hobby. Everybody else, F1 is a hobby for them.
Last year in Imola, he won a race before the Imola qualifying. He was seen driving, he won the race, and then he goes and win the race. So it's just...
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
He's impressive.
It's just impressive.
Let's get the last question in before we sign off, my friends. Who is gonna flop?
Biggest flop.
Like they say in Spanish, tienes que mojarte.
I will say...
He's like, all right, Lewis.
No, because if someone that I've been defending a lot,
okay,
but I'm gonna throw in the fire because I think he's been disappointing these last couple of races. Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, I think he's gonna be the biggest flop. He's gonna crash because he don't trust this car, this Ferrari, and he's gonna crash and he's gonna leave everyone disappointed one more race.
By the way, this is one of Hamilton's worst tracks, if not the worst.
And it's crazy because, like what you're saying, he doesn't trust the car, and it seems like he also doesn't trust his engineer, and he doesn't trust that team that's in Ferrari.
Well, I will not trust any engineer from Ferrari. I'm sorry. But those guys, you ask them a question and they give you a completely different answer. Let me just check, and then they take 20 minutes just to give you an answer.
Oh, you were supposed to pit.
Yes, pit. No, actually, it's Carlos Sainz. I'm sorry. I called the wrong driver, and then you lose the race, like Leclerc a couple of years ago.
All right. So we got Hamilton. Who do you think is
for
gonna
me?
flop?
Okay, I've been praising Norris since we started this conversation. He's gonna crash in turn 1 during the race. Biggest flop.
Oh yeah, you didn't put him in top 3. Oh wow.
That's deep. So how is he gonna flop, but he's gonna get top 3?
No. He didn't put in the top 3. Remember, he put Russell.
Crash.
Oh, he put Russell.
1.
That's right.
Yes. So Lando lover is not putting Lando in the top.
I'm not a Lando lover. I hate Lando. I dislike his driving.
Yeah, dislike. It's a really strong word,
Yeah. For me, it's sad because I don't think he's technically considered a rookie, and maybe you guys know why these people are still considered these drivers are still considered rookies.
Okay.
But it's gonna be Franco again.
Wow, no. Okay, I'm
I said it
sorry,
last-
but
I said
I
it
didn't
last
know that
time.
this channel hate this much to
No,
my boy Franco.
no. Hey, I love that, an Hispano is representing, us, the culture, the community in Formula One, but I don't know. It's just like I feel like in his mind he wants to prove that he belongs with all these privileged, white drivers and people that grew up in Europe. And when he just needs to be himself, drive, because he is quick, and to me he's gonna crash.
Oh wow.
When you said rookie, for a moment, I thought you mentioned Alonso, and I'm like, wait, what? What happened here? But no, it was Franco, so that's okay. That's
Yeah.
He's the
Okay.
youngest rookie.
To clarify, why is it that there's still a rookie if they raced last year?
because it wasn't a whole season. That's technically why.
Yeah, that's a technicality.
Yeah,
It's a technicality. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they call also Liam Lawson a rookie, and he's not
Right.
a rookie.
He's not
Yeah,
a
he's
rookie.
a rookie.
He's been for a while already.
Yeah. Well, let's add one more question before we sign off, guys. Out of all the rookies, let's not count Fernando Alonso on this one.
That's the best rookie by
And the
far.
Do we think Isaac Hadjar is going to do the best?
For me, it's Kimi Antonelli. I've been praising a lot Kimi because he's fast, and I don't know, it's just something. I think he has something special. There's some drivers that you see when they drive and they have something special. For me, Kimi have something special, Apart from being Italian in Formula One, and I want to see his success and then move to Ferrari.
At some point, it's happening.
But for me, it's Kimi Antonelli.
And
He
I
said
agree.
Kimi.
I agree. Kimmy's a really good rookie, but I put Isaac at a higher than Kimmy right now because it's in the Red Bull Junior seat. And it's not in a Mercedes where you can.
Yeah.
They're not competing at the top, but they're way better than all the mid to low level teams.
That's right.
Well, that's something that swinging in favor of Kimi. But you still have to drive the car. You still have to take
Definitely.
it, to the top. So
For me, by the end of this season, Hadjar's gonna be the best rookie this season.
Oh, wow.
In terms of talent, for me, Berman, Bortoleto on top.
And where do you left Kimi then? Third? Oh wow.
I've been following Bortoleto the same way he followed Piastri, and he just dominated every junior. He just dominated.
I don't know. I feel like Hadjar is more talented.
I like Bortoleto more.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
Bortoleto is very talented. I think he did really well in his first race, but then, the team just started, the team really never aspires to do anything big, but it just kind of went down more and more. So it's going to be interesting when, the new changes come in, the new teams come in, Cadillac comes in, and what is it, Audi too, right?
Audi,
we-
yes, next
Yeah,
year.
the Audi comes in. So we'll see what happens. Before we sign off, do you guys want to say anything to the fans?
Well, we love to be here. We want to thank you for this opportunity. For the fans, go and watch. Give it a chance to this race because it's a really exciting race. It's one of those classic races of Formula One. This is what is Formula One. It's one of the oldest races. So go ahead, watch it, tune in because it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna promise you.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it 100%, and then Alonso is gonna win. So please, you have
Yes.
to be there. Okay?
Please make sure to go like, share, and subscribe to our friend's channel, Paddock Mania. And you can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Instagram, TikTok. They also do funny sketches, but they are very informational. And make sure to go follow them. And like always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another Overtake. If you enjoy this type of video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send this to anybody, and I mean anybody, from your DRS kids to your most knowledgeable people. They're gonna be like, hey, these three guys don't have any knowledge of what they are saying. And again, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and see you here next video.